Here's a video tutorial for my piano version of Life Eternal by Ghost. I'll say up front, this is just me sounding the song out by ear, so if you hear it differently, by all means correct it. And if you have any questions or want to get in touch, please feel free to contact me by commenting below. If you're using a desktop computer, you can also find my email address in the About tab of my YouTube channel. So let's jump right in. Life Eternal. This song starts in the key of F minor, which is not the easiest key signature for us beginners to play in. It has 4 flats, B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. The same key signature, of course, is A flat major. So if you think that's tough, the song eventually modulates or changes key to the key of A flat minor, which has 7 flats. But we'll build up to that. It just takes some practice. Luckily, we're just going to start with some block chords in the left hand, and we're not doing anything too crazy beyond that. So let's go through those initial chords slowly. First we have F minor. F, A flat, C. We're going to play that for 2 beats, 2 quarter notes. Then we switch to E flat major, E flat G, B flat, also for 2 beats. Then we go down to D flat major, D flat, F, A flat, and that one we play for 4 beats. So again, that's F minor for 2, E flat for 2, D flat for 4. So really simple. And if you could picture that with the melody, it'll sound like this. So now we get on to the next chords. That'll be A flat, which is A flat, C, and E flat for 2 beats. Back up to E flat, G, B flat for 2 beats. B flat minor, which is B flat, D flat, and F for 2 beats. And back up to D flat, F, A flat. So that chord progression again for the opening verse. It's F minor, E flat major, D flat major, A flat major, E flat major, B flat minor, D flat major. And we're playing all of those in root position, meaning the name of the chord is the lowest note you play. So for the melody, again, we're taking this really slow. Starts right here on the F, but because of the flats we need to play, I usually like to start with my second finger, number 2, and then do a quick cross under with my thumb. So the "Can you hear me say" lyric looks like this. So very slow. And if you could picture right there, that's where the left hand would start. Same thing here. So then here, you could do the same thing in the right hand. I like to mimic the same thing with the left hand, something like this, at the same time. But if you're having trouble with your left hand, if it's not quite up to speed with your right, you can just leave that part out. You can just do the introduction again with the right hand. And that's where you come in again with those same chords we just talked about. And you might notice right here, this part with the pickup to our lyrics, the time signature actually changes. You could think of it as just pausing, or probably more accurately, it seems we actually switch just for one measure to 2/4 time instead of 4/4. But then when the left hand comes in again with those block chords, we're back to 4/4 and you can get right back on the beat. for the next part, the melody sounds like this. The left hand, we're still keeping pretty simple. The chords we're dealing with are E flat, E flat major, B flat minor, all chords we played in the previous section, E flat major again, A flat major, and then D flat major. So let's try that. And by all means, you can keep doing block chords, 4 per measure, just like that. If you want, that sounds perfectly good. I mix it up just a little bit. Instead of 4 even block chords, I go like this. Just to mix it up a little bit. So with the right hand doing the melody, very slowly, it'll sound like this. And right here, I like to cross over with the right hand with my 4th finger and just go down the scale from E flat. Right there, we're going to land on the B flat chord. So for this next part, where the lyrics are saying this is the moment of just letting go, I like to play just the 1st or the root of the triad and the 5th of the triad. So we're starting off with B flat chord. So instead of playing a B flat triad, we're just going to play the B flat and the F, the 1st and the 5th. You might see that kind of chord referred to as a power chord, where we're just playing the 1st and the 5th. So that would sound like this. B flat and F for B flat chord for 2 beats. Then G flat, same thing, we're just going to play G flat and D flat, 1st and the 5th, for 2 beats. Then D flat, we're playing D flat and A flat. Then A flat and E flat for 2 beats. And then we just end holding the E flat major chord for a full measure. So with the right hand, we had that little pickup, and here we are. And just hold that E flat major chord, while with the right hand, you do the If You Had Life Eternal melody. And you could play it with just one voice, or I like to actually do it with the octave. And then I just play around with this E flat major chord a little bit. So again. So it's right there that we're going to start the next verse. And it's very similar to what we did the first time in the melody. In the left hand, I like to do it a little differently this time, just to mix it up. But if you want to, by all means, you could just go back to our trusty block chords. F minor, E flat major, D flat major. You could absolutely do that again. But if you want to mix it up a little bit, you could do a kind of rocking beat, something like this. So I'll show you a little slower what we did there. Starting with the F minor chord. So I'm just playing F, C, and another F at the top. Then I jump up to this F again, and then complete the triad, A flat and C. So, and the same thing with the E flat. Same thing with the D flat. And then we continue that for the whole measure. Then we have A flat, same idea. B flat minor. D flat major. So again, putting that together, it sounds like this, very slowly. And then we have something very similar repeat. And here we're doing the same chord progression as before at this part. E flat to B flat minor, E flat, A flat, D flat. But I'd like to do something a little different again. Another rocking beat. So very slowly again with the right hand, that sounds like this. And here, again, we have that stepwise motion down. If you like, you could actually do it in an octave this time to make it a little more interesting. So here again, same chords as last time for this is the moment of just letting go part. But here I'm playing the power chords with the extra octave of the root above, like this. B flat, G flat, D flat, A flat, B flat, I went up that time, G flat, D flat, right after that, we're working into our key signature changes. But here's what that sounds like with the right hand. And you could just play the upper voice. But if you want, you could always play some extra harmonizing notes with your thumb. So let's see. B flat. These fingers can kind of share this note. So for the next two measures, we're actually adding 2 more flats to our key signature. So that'll be 6 flats. We're adding G flat and C flat. So we're playing these chords. E flat minor, E flat, G flat, B flat. Then C flat major. G flat. D flat. So again, that's E flat minor, C flat, G flat, D flat. And with the right hand, that sounds like this. Then again, we switch keys. We finally arrive on the key of A flat minor, which has 7 flats, as I mentioned in the beginning. So basically everything in the scale is flat. And the chords we're playing, I know they're tricky, is A flat minor, that's A flat, C flat, or B natural, E flat, and A flat. For 2 beats. Then we have F flat, which you'll probably think of it easier as the same thing as E major. Then we have C flat. Again, you might think of it more easily as B major. And then G flat. So taking it really slow, this whole part sounds like this. Now we have the A flat minor. And then we're going to play this in the right hand. We're playing G flat, D flat, G flat. And then we move down to D flat, F natural, and D flat. Like this. The left hand, we left off on our G flat chord, like this. So play that again. Jump down to D flat, G flat, and D flat, G flat, and D flat down here. So you're playing D flat, starting with G flat, and going to F natural. So starting with that G flat chord in the left hand, that sounds like this. So now we're playing the same chorus melody again, but of course it's a lot trickier now that we're playing in the key of A flat minor with all those flats in it. So same melody, but now we have all those flats. And the chords, I'll just do block chords for now because they're so tricky. A flat minor, G flat, F flat, which again you could think is the same thing as E major, for 4 beats. Then we have C flat, you could think of it as the same thing as B major, G flat, D flat minor, and then F flat again. So all together, very slowly because I know it's tricky. Repeats again, very similar. And now here, we actually go up the notes of the scale. Then we just have the word forever repeating like this. And in the left hand, you can keep it simple with block chords, or you could do something like this. Another round of those words forever. So that's about it. Believe me, I know it's tough with those key signatures, but just stick at it. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and I really hope that helped. Thanks so much. See you soon.